Okay, now we're live. So, welcome to another business class today. We're going to be discussing jobs in HR. Okay, so there's actually a lot of different types of jobs in HR, and so I kind of want to talk about first. Do you know what HR is? Do you know what that department does? Do you know the sub departments? All right, so tell me your information. What do we know about HR? Anybody?
Human resource.
Okay, yes, human resources. And what do they do?
They, if they just recruit candidate to work for the company.
Mm-hmm. So basically, they hire
basically,
people. Yes.
they hire people.
Recruit is also a good word. It's a little bit more formal. We'll see it in today's class as well. Good, thank you, Al. Anyone else have any ideas? Have you worked in HR? Nothing?
I have on the ship office for the human research, and I know little about this what's happening because when I going to ship, I must first going to crew purser to put documents, passport, etc. After that, going to human research office, and human research office explain me rules and what's happening on the ship.
And does that happen every time you get a new contract?
No. But when I change the company, I going to human research. When is my contract second contract in the same company? It's no problem. I'm not going to human research, but if you're going to first time to new company, I need to going to human research, sign new documents, and explain rules, what's happening, and this is my experience of the human research.
Okay, so paperwork is what.
Yes, paperwork. Yes.
Perfect. So we have good hiring and we have paperwork, the formal part of the job. Very good. Ken or Masako, do we have any other information?
Actually, this is the first time for me to join your class. So I want to be a listener. And
okay.
Actually, I'm a retired person. And I've been working as a designer. But it's a freelance.
Okay.
So for me to working as a regular worker, I have no experience about this.
Okay, well, fantastic. Then today is going to be all new information for you. So thanks for joining. I more than respect that you want to just listen today because this is new. That's wonderful. We're very happy to have you.
But please accept my opinion. Actually, I'm a very talkative Japanese middle-aged woman. So I can't stop talking if I feel something. So please allow me to take my microphone if I want.
Perfect.
But anyway, I'll be listener in this class.
Sounds good. That's perfect. And Ken, what about you? Do you have any information about HR or nothing?
Not so much. Yeah, maybe hiring and also firing people. Also, maybe they decide the position. How can I say? Position is a proper English, like.
Position, job position.
Yeah, job position. Yes.
Okay.
Maybe general information about that.
Exactly. Yeah, there are a lot of like departments of human resources, and then from those departments, there's different levels, there's different jobs. So there's like a huge world of jobs in the HR department. So that's why I wanted to focus on this today. We'll do kind of something a different business like. Let me just make sure. Review HR. All right, one moment as I screen share. Yes. Perfect. All right, so we should see this now, which is great. So how to begin your career in HR, all right? So first we have to understand what it is. Then we have to just we have to find out more information. And that's what we're going to do today. So let's see, we'll go down a little bit more. And Ken, do you think you could read this for us?
Okay. There are a lot of opportunities to work in the human resources department. Many people are finding jobs that can help them financially, and this is one place where you can find a job. There are many departments with the HR, and here they are hiring and recruiting, training and employee needs, employee relations, performance reviews, record keeping and legal compliance, and general office responsibilities. So if one of these jobs interests you, today will be eye-opening for you.
All right, so a little introduction about this. So yes, as we said, hiring and recruiting. First, I'd like to talk about the difference between these two because they're kind of similar, but not the same.
I think hiring is just hire the people, but recruiting is maybe company, how can I say, recruit kind of, how can I say, target the one person to hire, and maybe company offer the person to be hired. That's the difference between these hiring and recruiting.
I absolutely agree that hiring, yes, is when you get the job, and recruiting is before that. So when you recruit someone, you might go to a place and look for people who might be a perfect fit for the job. Okay, so yep, a little difference, but both involved in you becoming an employee of a company. So training means that they train you for the job position so you know what to do. What do you think is employee needs? What do you think they would have in that department? Yeah. Oh, Ken, are you still there? Hello, Ken. Can you hear me?
Hello. Yes.
Hi.
Yes.
Okay, now I can hear you.
Yeah. Maybe company. How can I say? Deal with the employee. Not company. The human resource employees request or needs for their job position or something, or some other problems.
Exactly. So, in what kind of situations do you think people might need something, or what kind of needs would people need?
To work, what position they work, or the office they work, or such things.
Okay. Yeah, so it could mean a couple of different things. It could mean maybe a different chair. It could mean maybe they're in a wheelchair or some kind of they're physically handicapped that they might need help with something else, or a specific telephone or headsets, headphones, things like that. So there's a lot of different equipment that you might need, and that's going to depend on the person. Everyone's different. A long time ago, we spoke about ergonomics. Does anyone remember what ergonomics is? No. Ergonomics? It's kind of a strange word. Ergonomics. No?
No.
Okay. So, basically, I gave this example. This is how I know that we talked about it. When my mom started her last job, someone came in and they measured how tall she was, and then they changed her desk to work perfectly for her height, or when she's sitting down, what's a good height for the desk? The chair, if she needed something for her feet, so her feet were more comfortable. So basically, it's kind of, how do I say this? Preparing the workspace specifically for a person so their back doesn't hurt. They're not, stretching in a very strange way. They're not going to hurt themselves. And they're going to be comfortable because normally people work 8 hours a day. So if you're uncomfortable for 8 hours, that's going to have different physical effects for you later. Okay? All right. So employee relations is just, I think if there's any issues, relations such as the employee to other employees, if there's any problems like that, I think. Performance reviews. What are performance reviews? Does anyone know?
Yeah, it's something like the how's you're working.
Okay,
like
exactly. And
yeah.
when do they normally do those?
After probation.
Okay, so probation is the trial period, let's say, and normally it's about 6 months or every year. People do performance reviews just so that you kind of know what's going on. Some companies might do it once a month. It depends on the company, okay? Then we go to record keeping and legal compliance. Of course, record keeping is just keeping records, information about whatever, if it's the company or the actual employee. And legal things. So it could be confidentiality, contracts, specific documents, things like that. And then just general office responsibility. One moment. General office responsibilities. Okay? Oof. So there's a lot of different things involved in HR. HR isn't just important people that run the company. There's a lot more. It's about taking care of the employees. Okay? Any questions here? No? Okay. So Bob.
Yes.
Could you read this for us, please?
Yes, of course. Is this the right path for you? First, you have to decide if this type of job is for you. A lot of confidentiality is involved as personal information is available in the department. So you should have a clean background. Be responsible, be a problem solver, and want to work with others. You should be self-motivated and strive for success.
All right. So lots of big vocabulary words in here. So let's confidentiality just means that if for competitors, for other companies that are basically the same as yours, so they don't have the secrets of the company, okay? Let's say you're developing a new product or something happens that you don't want anyone else to know what is going on. That's confidentiality, okay? So there's a lot of that involved in HR as you're developing new maybe roles or job positions, as you have personal information, as it says, okay? What about, it says you should have a clean background. What's this mean? Have a clean background.
Police record.
Police record. All right. Thanks, Bob. How's your record, Bob? That's pretty confidential, isn't it?
I'm clear, 100%.
I think I am too, actually. Yeah, I am. I'm good. Good. So be responsible. And a problem solver is exactly what it says, is someone who can solve problems. Okay? If you're good at it, or if you like to think of different ways that you can solve any problems, it's really good for this kind of job. Okay? Plus, you have to work with others. You have to. I mean, that's the situation. There's other people. All right. Also, you should be self-motivated and strive. What is strive for success?
Happy,
Okay, yes.
healthy.
Not super exactly happy. Strive for success is aim. Success should be your goal. Okay. So strive is to, I would say, aim for. Okay, or it's your target. Okay, for success. You want to be successful. Any other questions here? No? All right, well, Elle, would you like to read this next part?
Sure.
Okay.
A job to career. There are a lot of jobs involved in HR, and some are more basics. It is a good idea to start in a lower position and work your way up. This way, you can get to know everything about the job from the beginning and understand the work involved. Later, you won't take any job for granted, such as secretary, as it can be will be looked down upon because it is an easy job. Really?
Okay. Well, yes and no. I mean, and this is a huge stereotype, okay? People think that secretaries, that they're not important jobs. Some people think that. I personally don't, but I wanted to add that so we could talk about it, okay? However, before we get there, I want to start from the top here to see if you have any other questions about vocabulary, any words, structures, etc. Okay, so let me start asking some if no one is everyone sleeping today? I'm just kidding. Okay, so it says I have here to start in a lower position. All right. So there's like I was saying before, there's a lot of different types of jobs in these different departments that we looked at earlier. So when you start out in a department, it might be best to start at a lower position. Okay. So you can understand what that person does, how hard they work, and later appreciate them. Because a lot of times, especially in the United States, if you start at a position, you work hard, you do well, things like that, well, you might, if there's an opportunity, you could get promoted. And with being in the company, knowing how the company works, etc., it might be a good idea that they promote you. Okay? So, that's basically it. All right. Well, so you start at a lower position and you work your way up as you continue to increase your job position little by little. Okay. And that's it. Okay. Let's see. Then you get to know the job from the beginning. Okay. So it says later you won't take any job for granted. So take something for granted is what we say. Okay.
When you take something for granted, you not see how important of that job is. Like you don't appreciate it.
Exactly. Appreciate really is
Yes.
the word. Okay. Let's see. Does anyone else have any other?
I want to protest. About
okay.
secretary job is an easy job because I was a secretary for 15 years in Thailand. I don't think it was an easy job. I don't think so.
Right, and that's what I mean. There's a lot more.
Yeah,
to it,
we have
a
lot
of people have the stereotype that it's easy, that it's not difficult, anyone could do it. So yes, I did want to talk about this. So tell us your experience. What was going on?
Okay, because this day, it's possible, but in those days, like right now, I'm 51. We're talking about when I 20 something. there is nothing about. I'm talking about the like a social media, the apps, like you have to go to the meeting with your boss, and then you have to record the meeting. After the meeting finished, you have to transcribe, right? You have to write it down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, transcript, yeah. And then you have to summarize. You have to like listen the whole thing and write down the important thing, and then you have to do the accounting. You don't have to do the whole accounting. You have to do, what did you call the money that used in the office, like
the treasury? When you have to count the money, this treasurer is the person.
Yeah, it's like the everything that is not the whole company accounting. It's just for my department accounting. I have to do that. Yeah, and I have to monitor every document that comes in the office and put in the database. In the database, we have to record everything. Mm-hmm. Incoming letter and outgoing letter. Yes, a lot of things. Mm-hmm. You have to. It's not easy. I'm not agree with this.
Exactly. Well, that's why I wanted to say, because even if you start at a lower position, it doesn't mean that it's an easy job or anything like that. The phone's ringing, someone's in person there, you have to print something, you have to make copies for someone. Even just, and these are more simple tasks, let's say, okay? But when everything happens at the same time and you have to prioritize, you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
You don't have time for this, you can't do it. So it's very stressful, is what I'm trying to say here. Okay. I think being a secretary is a good experience. I've never been a secretary. I wanted to be and never got the opportunity. But it's one of those positions that you really have to focus, be on task, and work really hard, and really prioritize, be organized, etc. And you're supposed to have all of the answers. I mean, everyone will ask you questions, and you have to know all of the answers. So it's a very difficult job. But if you start out there and little by little move up to a higher position, it will be a lot easier, because, again, you will look back at the secretary and think, wow, I know what that person does. I know how difficult it is, and then maybe you could help if needed, or, you appreciate them more. Okay. So any other comments or questions about this part?
No, nothing.
No, thank you.
All right, fantastic. So we'll move down. All right, yeah. So now we get into some numbers, okay? I think Ken will have you read this, because Masako, you don't want to read either.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry for bothering. I suddenly lost my connection. Now I recovered.
That's okay.
Can you now? Yeah. The Occupational Outlook Handbook, OOH, says the average wage for an HR manager was 100 and $120, right, in May 2017. However, overall, the salary range for an HR manager is said to be anywhere from $40,000 to $198,000, right?
Yes, very good. So lots of things. So the average they're saying is a little higher than 150. So it's lower than the average. So, but $110,120. Okay, so it's a lot of money. Now here in Spain, I don't know. But in the United States, a lot of money can be made in the HR department. And if you think about it, a lot of companies will have an HR department because they need to, because they're a big enough company that they need extra support. Okay. Questions here? A lot more information that's coming. So, Ken, now we'll have you read this next part, okay? Ken, are you there? Ken, if you're speaking, I can't hear you. Oh, okay. Well, Bob.
Oh, yes.
Bob,
I'm here.
we'll have you read. Sorry, Ken. Yeah, Ken, maybe you might want to come back in or something. But,
Hello?
hey, there you are. What happened?
Sorry. I don't know. I accidentally plugged off the headset, and then I plugged in and I lost the sound. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. No, sorry. I was reading what Elle commented on. Yes. Okay. So Ken will stay in order. You can read this.
Of course, there are many factors involved when your salary is being thought about. Some of these factors are the industry, region, company, size, private or public sector employment, the size of the city, where the job is located, and market pay ranges based on the number of available jobs, job supply and demand.
Okay. So that's why there's such a huge difference from 40,000 to almost 200,000 per year. This is why. Okay. I mean, someone living in a rural Wisconsin, well, in a city in Wisconsin compared to New York City, there's going to be a huge difference. Okay. And that's just because it also is, as it says, the region, the company size, the city, the size of the city where the job is located. If you think about minimum wage, for example, I don't even know how much it is right now in Wisconsin, but probably around $7 or $8 per hour. In New York City, when I was there, wow, a long time ago, I was speaking to my uncle, and he works at a big department store. And I said, what, is minimum wage here like $13? And he said, yeah, that sounds about right. And I was, what? That's so much money. But that's living in New York City. So there's a lot of things to think about.
I heard maybe nowadays Bay Area, San Francisco, or because over Seattle, they can get the highest salary in the States, but cost of living also very expensive there.
Exactly. So again, that's why there's such a big difference in the job, like the 40 to almost 200,000. But that's about it. And Elle, I want to look at your comment.
No, I just remember about what that cash call, petty cash.
Okay, and what do you want to say about petty cash?
No, I'm talking about the secretary job. You have to deal with the petty cash.
So that's little money.
Yes.
Exactly. And that's another reason it's thought of like not as a very great job, because you can't become rich being a secretary, basically. But it's a lot of work. So that's good. Bob, are you ready to read?
Yes.
All right. And so I don't know why this is like this, but it's bothering me and it doesn't go away. So you can read this, Bob, please.
Also, personal experience is important, and the following are taken into consideration when someone is hired: degrees, credentials, experience, the amount of time spent in the organization, performance, certifications, responsibilities, and even continue education.
Okay, so lots of words here. Do you have any questions about some vocabulary?
Yes.
What?
What is credentials?
Credentials, very good. Anyone have any idea? Or should I say it?
Like certificate.
Yeah, certificates, your qualifications. Qualifications. If you're qualified or if you have, as it says, kind of a degree or what else that is a certification, it depends on your knowledge, I guess, is what it could be. Okay, so if you've studied for anything, all right. Any other questions?
Credentials.
Yeah, credentials is basically just your qualifications as what you've studied. So for example, a doctor can't become a doctor unless he's qualified, and he becomes qualified because he's studied and he has the practice and the experience.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, Bob. Any other questions?
So, what is the exactly difference between the credential and certification?
Well, for certification, a certification is not the same as a degree. So by saying your credentials, anything that you studied, any courses. Because even if you do a course, I mean, you might get a certification at the end, but it might not be. We'll kind of look at an example of this at the end if we get there. It's not like an official. Yeah, it's some kind of training. Exactly. Thanks, Elle. I needed help. Anything that you've studied or a course you've taken that has anything to do with this job.
Okay.
Okay, more or less. Anything else?
No.
Okay. So Elle, let's see what we have for you to read. How are we going to agree? This one's longer. Okay, this one's longer. Yeah,
having agreed. Okay.
Can you see all of it?
Yeah, I do. In order to land a job in HR, you must have a degree. Some companies will accept a bachelor degree, but some companies might even want you to have a master's, depending on the company, your age, etc. You might be considered a good candidate to return to college, while the company pays for your college tuition. In order to continue your studies, this will not only help you as a worker, but it will help the company be successful and keep up on the new things in the business.
Okay. So good. Questions here. There's like maybe a couple words. All right, then I'm going to ask. Okay, so in order to land a job, what is land a job?
Land a job, I think it would be before you apply a job in HR. Right?
Yes. So a synonym for the word to land in this case, what would it be?
Land in go to the HR. No.
Well, it's actually to land a job is to get a job. It's
it's
a different word. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Let's see. What about a bachelor's degree and a master's degree? What are the difference between those? Bachelor's and master's degrees. Who can tell me?
Okay. Anyone can.
Yeah, anyone who wants
to speak.
Yes. Bachelor. Sorry.
No.
Bachelor degree.
Sorry.
Thank you. bachelor degree is called undergraduate also.
Okay, yeah.
A degree from the university. And master degree is the degree of the graduate school. Usually graduate school is master and PhD. So yeah, that's difference.
Exactly. All right. So, bachelor's degree is normally about 4 years. Master's, what is it, 8, I think, or more, 6 or 8. I don't actually know. I think it kind of depends.
Not 8. I think PhD is 8, but
That's
usually
what I
master
was
degree.
wondering.
Yeah, master degree is 2 years, or it's up to the school, or you know, or 2 or 3 usually, I guess.
Yeah. I guess I've never really looked into this, so I don't really know. But bachelor's is about 4 normally, and then yeah, I think master's, you're right, could be 2 more years after bachelor's, after your bachelor's degree, and then your
And
PhD.
PhD,
Yes.
1 year, right?
I think that might be 2 as well. It's your doctorate. I mean, maybe it's like a year of study and a year of practice or something. I don't know exactly.
Maybe 3 maximum. Many people who suffer from getting PhD just 3 years. So maximum 3 and minimum 3. But and some people leave the in the PhD without getting degree. I mean a degree, a PhD.
Okay. It's a lot of work, and I know that I didn't want to do that, so I got my bachelor's and I finished college. Also, in the last paragraph here at the end, it says even continuing education. So as I put earlier, it depends on your age and things like that from probably before. But if you're younger and they think you might want to continue your studies, they might say, hey, okay, we'll hire you for this job position now, and then in the future we will pay for you to do this course in which you can move up in the business, in the company. So there are some opportunities, and that this is what I wanted to talk about, the certifications for HR. And again, these are things that you don't need, but that might help. All right. So professional in human resources. Again, these are just courses. Senior professional in human resources, Society for Human Resources Management, and Human Resources Certification Institute. Now, I have no idea what these prepare you for. I don't know what they do because I never was going into the HR position field. So yes, these are some of the certifications you can do before you get an HR job. And this one, Elle, did you read? You did. So, all right. One moment. Masako, do you want? Sorry, Elle, you did read, right?
Oh, may I read this one? This sentence?
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
Okay, thank you. These certifications aren't needed, but might be required in small to medium-sized companies. Also, these certifications might be on the job posting, so they aren't needed, but it might be a good idea to look into a degree or two to help you get a job in this field. Also, those who have done a certification normally earn more money.
All right, Chris, thank you for reading. Very good. This is exactly what I was saying before, is that the certifications that I read, you don't need them, but they help. And normally they're in the job description. So your credentials, your background history of, knowledge and learning, studies, things like that. Okay. Any questions about this? No? All right. Well, I think that is it for class today then. So, knowing that, oh, sorry, I hit the my headphones. So knowing your job now, and after learning about being in the HR department, do you think it would be something you'd be interested in or not so much? I can start. Elle, we can see you.
Sorry, I just want to admit. Okay.
You look great. It's fine.
I just want to say, if you want to deal with people, if you're good at, because it's not easy to deal with people, you deserve this job.
Well, I was a waitress for a long time, so I always think maybe it would be an interesting job for me just because I like the fast-paced things. I like to be organized. I like, I think it would be fun, we can say. As far as actually doing it for like ever, probably not. But I think it would have been nice to be a secretary for a short period of time. So that's what I think. I think it would be interesting for me, but for a period of time. Bob, what do you think? Do you think you'd like to work in HR?
Oh, yes, of course. I think in my last 5 years work on the cruise ship, in my department on the stage with musician, I'm good human research manager because I know a lot of the musician and job in the music. This is important, very long experience. You must know every person, what's happening. Is he good day or bad day, something else? And in my department, I think I will be good human research manager.
Well, good. Well, then maybe you could, look into some things that you could do when you're not working, for example. So, no, Masako, you don't want to work in HR? Why not?
Thank you. Actually, I'm very talkative, but I just learning how to use this system right now.
That's okay.
Yes,
We're all learning. But do you want to answer? Because you can talk to us.
Yeah, I want to try.
Okay. So, HR isn't for you. Why?
Because I'm working as a designer.
And you don't want to change jobs?
Yeah. And maybe I'm not good at organizing something.
That could be a problem.
Yeah. So HR is far different from my my specialty. So, but this class is very interesting for me.
Very good. Well, I'm glad to help open your mind to new things. It's nice to learn, and it's not just about the job. We looked at different vocabulary and different phrases and things today too. So it's hopefully kind of a dynamic class and not only just business. It's it's other things as well. So.
Yeah, I know. So I'm trying to listen to your very nice speaking English, and I also want to join all your conversation next time.
Perfect.
But please forgive me to keep silence right now. I'm trying to. I just got how to chat here and how to use my microphone right now.
Hey, little by little, we're all. Like I said, we're all learning. It's not a problem. We're happy you're here. If you have any questions, Ken can always help. Well, we can always help. So, Good.
Yeah, thank you. And I stopped using my video because it's very late. Very late in Japan.
Mhm.
It's 9:47. So I'm I'm wearing my nightwear, so I can't use my microphone.
That's okay. Your camera, that's not a problem. You don't have to.
Yeah.
That's not a problem. Yeah, it's perfect. Good. Ken, what about you? Would you like a job in HR or not really?
Maybe seems they can get a better salary from owning.
Yeah, they can.
I'm not the person for that, but yeah, if I can get a better salary, maybe I might try. Yeah.
Exactly. So, hey, you never know. I mean, life continues. You can always study or move or do something. So, life is, hey, there's always new opportunities. So, and Elle, what about you? What's your opinion?
Yeah, I don't mind if I have to get this job, but if I can choose, but I don't want to work in HR. Is a lot of, I think a secretary is a headache job, but HR is you have to deal with the whole company, the people. Can you imagine?
Exactly. The people who are above you, people who are below you,
Yeah,
everything.
like the factory. If you work for the factory, you have to deal with the whole factory.
Exactly. And there's a lot involved.
Yeah, secretary you deal with basically your boss is very important. You have to deal with your boss first. Yes, that's
And
what it is.
if it's a big company, there probably be a lot of rules, and so you can't do this, you have to do this, and blah blah blah. So,
and
but
have to deal with have the record of the worker, the time,
personal information.
Yeah, timetable. What did you call? Yeah. Yeah, have to deal with that. The whole company.
Yeah.
It's a lot, but they pay good money. They pay very good.
Exactly. So it's something to consider, especially for those younger people. So, but very good. Well, Ken, make sure you're here next class because we're working on grammar.
Okay. So yeah.
We'll be focusing on the past simple next time. Okay.
Okay.
And for the next couple months, as I said, this weekend I was working on my schedule for Thomas, and I finished until the end of May. And there are some other grammar classes in there for you. So be ready, all right? But in the next 4 months, okay?
Okay.
So little by little, they've been added to the schedule as well. And that's about it for today. Like I said, next time we're working on the past simple. So bring your questions, ask me, whatever, and we'll talk about anything that you need to know. Okay? So have a great day, everybody. And it's sunny. It's a little cool today, but it's sunny in Spain. So I'll spread the sun to everybody else. And
can I spread the snow?
Nice.
No. The snow will melt
over here.
No, thank you. Enjoy the snow, all right? And I will see all of you on Wednesday, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
You're welcome. Bye.
I could join your class this time.
Good, I'm glad. Bye.